It's Perp back with another video, and I just got done checking out the new limited series on Netflix called The Coyotes. Now, like what I normally do when I go find these like random shows to watch, I just look at what's coming the next week, or I'll see a list of things coming to Netflix, and that's how I kind of make my decision. I saw the trailer, a little bit of it. I didn't watch it all. I just like the tone of it. It's very, after watching this, I could say it's very much like Outer Banks with a little bit of, Goonies in there. They go kind of on this like adventure and whatnot. It's only 6 episodes long, which that right there in itself, after watching this show, this could have been a whole full-fledged series. For some odd reason, they decided to just make it like a one and done. I don't think that would be the best case scenario for this, because there's a lot of interesting things that they do in this show with these characters. Our main character we follow is Kevin, and he's a part of these scouts. And I kind of like that, that we kind of get this type of show that, we follow these scouts and how they really respect that and they really take that whole thing seriously. And you kind of see that. And it kind of helps form the bond of all these different characters, and Kevin and all his friends, and also his kind of love interest, Marie. Um, so you got Kevin, Ferret, Panda, Mongoose, and a list of other characters. Yeah, I know it's weird that they're all kind of nicknamed after animals. I don't think they really kind of explain that at all. But I like how the show starts off, at least, because we get introduced to our like main antagonist named Mark, and something gets stolen out of his house, which what gets stolen out of his house are these diamonds. And you learn that it was Marie's boyfriend at the time, which I have a whole issue with Marie's character and just how Kevin treats Marie's character. Just he just does too much sipping for this chick. But anyways, Marie's boyfriend gets himself caught up and gets shot by Mark in the beginning of this show. And, not knowing that he also has a family that is kind of in cahoots with Mark. So it becomes this whole kind of weird entanglement of just things waiting to kind of just explode. And that's my favorite part of this whole entire series. It's not necessarily like the scouts and stuff, because I feel like that's my least favorite thing about it, of this show. I like Mark and just how he kind of keeps the secret away from this family that, their son got killed, I'm the one that shot him type stuff. And, his whole goal is to get these diamonds back, because there's somebody on the other side of things that is kind of in control of everything, and, is waiting on these diamonds. Which we get no real satisfying like conclusion to that, because all she wants is her diamonds, but she never really makes her presence known after a certain point. But she does send possibly my favorite character to go pretty much clean up this dude Mark's mess. Oddman, I forget his name. I think that's how you pronounce his name, but he's really cool. He kind of brings some type of humor. He's very serious, but also kind of hilarious, the situations he gets kind of brought into. But like I said, this being a 6 episode kind of series, they try to cram a lot of story at like the last minute throughout this, because it goes from getting these diamonds, then getting money for these diamonds, then having to really worry about all these other things and other issues. And I just really don't like how they handled the main character, Kevin. He just kind of became one-dimensional. Like, he was really held bent on just like taking the money for himself, which I would have done. Fuck Marie and all these other dudes. You know, maybe I would have just still included the friends, but just certain decisions they decide to make, it just doesn't make sense. And like, you get a whole lot of Marie's backstory kind of fleshed out. Not really fleshed out, but like it's just kind of sprung on you randomly. Like I said, they do a lot of just explaining things and doing things, but not really explaining them well. As far as like Kevin and his brother goes, he's like one of the head scouts. He kind of treats him like shit. He definitely comes from like an abusive kind of household, and that's kind of shown. But he's just it a lot of these characters just take weird, drastic turns that it's just like it doesn't really make sense. In my opinion, it is well shot at times, but at times, especially the last episode, there's a lot of weird editing issues that I feel like it's just like, what are we doing here? You have one guy like dropping the people's elbow on somebody, then the next he's getting choked out. It's just like it was very just messy. I didn't really like it. The pacing was kind of all over the place. Like I said, I feel like I enjoyed the first half of this show more than the second half, because the second half is where things kind of start to unravel, and not in really a good way, I would say. It does have things that were cool. Like I said, I like Mark's whole story and his whole arc. But the finale of just it all, it was just kind of lackluster. I think people will find some enjoyment because there is like that sense of suspense as you're watching the show. But as you're watching the show, it kind of just gets progressively worse, in my opinion. Somebody might end up like really just liking this. For me, I just felt like it was meh overall. The concept was really dope, but poorly executed. This is just my little take on just what I thought about the Coyotes. If you've seen it or have plans on watching it, let me know your thoughts on it. Maybe you could find some enjoyment out of it more than I did. But yeah, that's just my take on it. Also, before I go, I have to mention, I don't think people know this, but they do have a dub version of this because this is a French show. So the dub isn't that bad. It's not as cringy as most Netflix dubs. So that's another positive. Like I said, it's kind of 50-50 with me overall. But don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at PerpMinder420. Till next time, I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.